BMW as well. A new wheel rim has been revealed today by Thrustmaster, the new T300 RS GT edition. You can see it here, the new Gran Turismo inspired rim. And I've been testing this over the past few days. It's based on the T300, but I thought I'd take it for a spin anyway. Also includes the T3PA pedals, which means you also have a clutch on the pedal set. I also tried it on PlayStation VR on Gran Turismo 6 as well, just to see what it felt like in terms of the VR, and as well as Project Cars, trying that on PlayStation VR as well, just to see what it was like with the 2D screen mode. But onto the packaging. There you go, that's the box. Rotation there, brushless motor, all the rest of it. Solid piece of kit. T300 is a great wheel. I use the T500, but that's because it's something I've used and I've been comfortable with for a long time, since 2011. But either way, it's always a great piece of kit. So getting out the rim, there it is. I often do some quite quirky rim videos, but this time I thought I'd keep it more sensible, just to show you guys the general packaging. So the rim, slightly smaller. I guess it's about the same size as the old Ferrari rim and the leather rim in terms of its size. So it's a nice solid size, not too big, but feels comfortable as ever. Buttons are well placed, as you'd expect, and shifters, nice feel to them. There you can see the quick lock-on system. Change your wheels over. So first, a little feel. The first thing I do when I unbox a new wheel is to just have a little feel of the buttons and see how they feel within sort of reach of your thumbs. So many wheels, the buttons are just out of reach, and that's a bit of a pain when you're trying to, say, reach for a handbrake. All the other standard bits you can expect in the box for bolting it to a table, as well as bolting it to your rig. And of course it uses the standard fittings, which Thrustmaster have always used, so no problem replacing your current wheel. Whacking this on there as well, the quick release system, there it is. Different modes on the front there for PS3 and PS4. This works for PS3 as well, of course. And there are those pedals. So, pedals, plastic base, really nice sort of feel in terms of nice sort of brushed steel in terms of the pedals themselves. They feel quite comfortable under the foot. They're a good height. There's a nice different feeling of pressure between the different pedals. So, yeah, I mean, obviously the base is plastic, but it's actually a little bit more comfortable on the feet. I mean, sometimes when you're wearing your socks, and you've got a steel base, it can be a bit hard on the old heel. So there you go, as a nice little look at the wheels. Main thing is, how does it feel and does it let you perform? That's what really matters to me, not so much the shape and size, is does it feel right? And the pedals do actually feel really good. So the next thing for me was to have a quick look at the base. See a couple of buttons on the base there as well. The fixing screws underneath, there they are, there and there. Standard expect, and of course that's where the bolt goes in for clamping it to a table, which is still very solid, has to be said. Really clamp that on there firmly. And then it was of course a matter of attaching it to the rig and kicking it off, and away we go from the off straight on to the PS4. Racing a bit of Drive Club. I haven't done much Drive Club. I raced from the actual in-car rather than the forward car cam for whatever reason. But using the Nissan GTR, because it's Gran Turismo, and I always felt that the Nissan GTR was sort of the Gran Turismo car, and in Japan, to make it appropriate, it's about as close as we can get. Japanese gaming, but not quite. So Project Cars, obviously had a little drive on that. You've got to play a bit of Project Cars because it's going to be a game a lot of you are going to be playing on your PS4. As ever, you know, it's just perfectly intuitive, really. Able to jump on there straight away. Pedals felt really good. You know, I look at these pedals and they're very much like the G25 pedals or the T500 pedal set. I love the T500 pedal set. You know, it's still my favourite set of pedals. And I've used lots and lots of pedals, and it's still my favourite set. You know, but then again, I like the G25 when it wasn't as popular. You know, some people weren't as happy with the G25s years ago. I really enjoyed them. Onto a bit of Drive Club VR as well. And again, you know, Drive Club VR, always feels great. It's funny, you know, you're just not looking at the wheel anymore. It's just down to how does it feel when you're actually driving, and I completely lost myself. Felt very comfortable, so intuitive. It really was responding well. Admittedly, I hadn't driven this car. I just sort of picked a car, jumped on a circuit I hadn't been on, just thought, let's go for it. And immediately it feels great. You know, you play Drive Club VR and you see the potential of the future of driving games. It's a wonderful thing. It really is. You really feel like you're in that car, and if it was a bit more resolution to it, it'd be so much more pleasurable to play. But there isn't, so you can only do so long at a time. This was actually being played using PlayStation VR. I thought I'd see what it was like playing Project Cars on PSVR with the big screen mode. Actually, very, very impressive. It worked really, really well. Unfortunately, though, I had a problem where every time I turned my head to the left, the screen would move a bit more to the left. So you'll see gradually in the end, every time I'm going down a straight, I actually have to look to my left to where the actual car is, and I'd have to keep pausing it and resetting the screen. But the potential was there, and I think it showed just how immersive it was, even with just a flat screen, because the screen's so big, you found you were turning your head to look towards the corners, so it was still pretty authentic. And I don't know if the problem I had with the screen moving is something that anyone else has encountered. And of course, you know, it's a Gran Turismo wheel, and with no Gran Turismo Sport, which obviously we're expecting Gran Turismo Sport to be released now with the wheel, there's no Gran Turismo Sport, so you've got to play it on a bit of Gran Turismo, and again, instantly intuitive. So the wheel itself feels good, buttons are all pretty functional, there's not a lot to say there. The pedals are a great set, they've improved upon it in terms of the look and feel of the pedals, but they felt good, they feel even better now. And the force feedback, as ever, is nice, solid, and you know, it's swift in terms of the feedback it can give you as well. I don't always have my force feedback on maximum. I tend to turn it down quite a bit. Well, one, just that's sort of why the way I drive, and the other way is also wheel preservation as well. I don't like to grind my wheels into dust. I need them to last for several years. So, all in all, great piece of kit. This is selling for $349.99, and so if you do see one, worth checking out. If you don't have a wheel, you want to try a wheel out, it's definitely a great opportunity to get stuck in. One of the best wheels on the market for console, and of course you can use it on the PC as well. So bonus there in terms of this wheel, and all round very impressed. And that's it for the Thrustmaster T300 RS GT edition. Do check out some of the other videos on the channel, some of the old wheel videos and rim unboxings as well. Far more fun than this one that was a bit functional, and there'll be more from me very soon.